Hello everyone. Welcome to the Bullied No More presentation, which will be brought to you by the Violence Prevention, Victim Advocacy and Support Center and the University Police at Southern Connecticut State University. My name is Sabrina St. Just. I am a staff member in the VPAS Center, and I will be co-facilitating this presentation along with my two colleagues, Rachel and Haley. So as we begin the presentation, we want to define what bullying is. Bullying is a form of aggressive behavior that involves unwanted, negative actions. The behavior is purposeful and involves an imbalance of power and strength. The pattern of these behaviors, which include intentionally hurting, causing harm, or damage to someone physically, socially, relationally, and/or emotionally, are repeated over time. Students may be bullied for their looks, which may include, but are not limited to, their physical appearance, gender identity, and race. As we talk about bullying, it's important to talk about the different types of bullying, which include verbal bullying, bullying through social exclusion, rejection, or isolation, physical bullying, bullying through gossip, lies, and false rumors, stealing or damaging personal possessions, being threatened or being forced to do things that are harmful or humiliating, racial or ethnic bullying, sexual or sexual orientation bullying, and cyberbullying. We thought that it would be important to talk a bit further about cyberbullying by defining what cyberbullying is. Cyberbullying is a form of electronic communication that is persistent and unwanted. There is a powerful imbalance created, and messages may be degrading, intimidating, threatening, or abusive. There are many risks and dangers when it comes to navigating the internet. Cyberbullying happens to be one of those dangers. Unfortunately, cyberbullies can go online and create anonymous accounts, which can make it much harder to hold them accountable. However, at Southern Connecticut State University, there are resources and support services that are available to help students navigate these possible risks and dangers. So here's a list of a few things that you can consider if you are being bullied or cyberbullied. You can make a document, keep a record, take screenshots of all instances, whether those be direct messages, text messages, emails, anything that has information that you can keep record of. You can block the bully off of your social media. By doing this, you are making sure that the individual does not have access to your platforms. You could change your privacy setting on your social media. By changing to your privacy setting, individuals who may be cyberbullying or who may once have had access to your account will not be able to have access to your account unless you allow for them to have access to your account. You can also report via social media. There are reporting options. If you go to your settings on your social media platforms, you should be able to report any incident or any information that makes you uncomfortable. You can also report the bullying to university offices. Those offices include the Office of Student Conduct and Civic Responsibility and/or university police or local police. The Violence Prevention, Victim Advocacy and Support Center university advocates are also available to help and to discuss reporting options and support services. You can also ask for help from a friend, a trusted faculty or staff member, a professor, for instance, or an RA, or resources on campus or throughout the community. Now we're going to take a look at reasons for bullying in college. This slide will specifically focus on the factors that play a role as to why people bully in college. However, I do want to stress that bullying is never acceptable And as we continue on with this presentation, we will talk about the consequences of bullying. Many people believe bullying only happens throughout childhood, during the years of elementary school, middle school, and high school. However, bullying also happens in college as well. Individuals may bully in college because of their access to new targets. Every semester, new students, whether they are first year students or transfers from another school, may join our campus community. Bullies may take advantage of newcomers who may not be familiar with our university. When students enter college, they are adults and are expected to be responsible for themselves and their actions. Sometimes, students may still choose to make poor choices, which may later result to consequences. Another reason why people may bully in college may be due to peer pressure. For example, students may belong to a friend group who may be negatively influencing and pressuring them to bully others outside of the friend group. Another reason why students may bully in college can be due to the access of electronics and technology. Students can be connected in more ways than ever with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and other social media networks. Lastly, in college, students have more freedom to experiment and try new things. These decisions and possible transitions for an individual may already be difficult or somewhat new to adapt to on a personal level, but can also attract new attention from bullies. There are many impacts that bullying may have on an individual. Students who are bullied experience higher rates of anxiety, depression, physical health problems, and social adjustment problems, which can persist into adulthood later on in life. Students who are bullied may also experience low academic achievement and increased dropout rates. And lastly, students who are bullied may experience an increased levels of high-risk behavior, such as drug and alcohol abuse. Bullying is a violation of the University Code of Conduct and is known as a form of harassment. Harassment interferes with a person's pursuit of his or her customary or usual affairs. Harassment can be directed toward an individual or group because of race, ethnicity, ancestry, national origin, religion, gender, sexual orientation or expression, age, physical attribute, or physical or mental disabilities or disorders, including learning and intellectual disabilities. Southern Connecticut State University takes bullying very seriously. As previously stated, bullying is a violation of the Student Code of Conduct and will not be tolerated on campus. Students who bully others may experience the many consequences that you see here. Some of these consequences include restitution, suspension, and expulsion. And now I will pass it on to Rachel from University Police, who will talk with you all about the laws that apply to bullying behaviors.
Those who engage in bullying may also be charged with the following. Assault. Assault is causing physical injury to another person. Assault in the third degree is a Class A misdemeanor and can be up to 1 year in prison and a $2,000 fine. Assault in the second degree is a Class D felony, can be 1 to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. Assault first is a Class B felony, up to 20 years in prison and $15,000 in fines. Threatening causes terror, which means words or acts meant to scare or cause intense fear. May also include the use or threatened use of a firearm. And stalking. Stalking is a repeated unwanted contact and can be in forms of physical following, repeated calls, messages, or cyber stalking. This behavior causes a reasonable person to fear for their safety. Criminal mischief is damage to personal or public property. such as keying a car or breaking a window. The degree of criminal mischief depends on the value of damage done. Intimidation is the intent to intimidate or harass another person and can be counted as a hate crime if motivated by racial, religious, ethnic, sexual orientation, or gender bias. Disorderly conduct is the intent to cause inconvenience, annoyance, or alarm by engaging in fighting or violent behavior. It interferes with another person in offensive conduct. Examples include making unreasonable noise or simple trespass. For the full definition, the Connecticut General Statutes are available online. 18.5% of students report being bullied while in college. 22 to 44% of college students report being victims of cyberbullying while in college. 1/3 of youth suicides are linked to bullying. American male college students have bullied more than female students, but male and female students in college are equally likely to be targets of bullying. 42% of students say that they've seen someone else getting bullied in college by another student. Many people might not think bullying occurs in college. However, we can see it is more prevalent than previously thought. The key things to take away is that bullying happens by cyber and non-cyber means, takes a mental toll on the victims, and anyone can be the victim of bullying. Many incidents are seen by bystanders. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or questioning youth, and those perceived as LGBTQ are at an increased risk of being bullied. 92% of LGBT youth say they hear negative messages about being LGBT. The top sources are school, the internet, and peers. 33% of students who identify as LGB have reported being bullied on school property and 27.7% cyberbullied. For LGBT youth, bullying puts them at an even greater risk for depression, suicidal ideation, misuse of drugs and alcohol, risky sexual behavior, and can affect academics as well. Bullying for LGBTQ can make going to class feel intimidating, fearful, and unmotivating. The lack of acceptance and harassment from peers can be distracting and can cause mental health struggles and dangerous behavior. Another vulnerable group for bullying are students with disabilities. They are twice as likely to be identified as perpetrators and victims as are students without disabilities. Students with special health needs, such as epilepsy or food allergies, may also be at a higher risk of being bullied. Students with disabilities that are characterized by or have diagnostic criteria associated with low social and low communication skills have a higher likelihood of involvement in bullying incidents. Unfortunately, students with disabilities can be bullied for their perceived differences or stereotypes. Those who bully may feel outcasted by their peers and lash out to protect themselves. In other words, bully to not get bullied. Those who are involved in bullying are the bully, the person being bullied, and the bystander. About 80% of peer victimization takes place in front of at least one bystander. The bystander can witness physical, verbal, or cyberbullying. This statistic shows that in most instances, a witness can step in to stop the bullying. No matter the form, a bystander can find a way to intervene. You are about to view a video that has some disturbing content. Please note that these are actors and not real situations, although the bystanders do not know that. Also, the responses used by many of the bystanders in this video are not the ones that we want students to use. They would be the ones where the bystanders intervene physically. That can be very unsafe, and we do not support that method of intervention for our students. We will show you safe, effective methods to use to intervene that do not involve any physical intervention. For example, you can call 911 for help by delegating, yell to distract or tell them to stop it directly, but we do not want to teach students to intervene physically. The point of showing this video is to show how different people intervene or do not intervene. Why do some people intervene and others do not? There are many reasons people do not intervene, including fear of retaliation, feel it's none of their business, and do not know how to intervene. We know that intervening can be difficult, and we do not judge anyone for their decisions. We just want to provide you with the tools to intervene in a safe way. The following are different types of bystanders. Hurtful bystanders are those who instigate the bullying by prodding the students who bully to begin, encouraging the students who bully by laughing, cheering, making comments that further stimulate the bully, or join in the students who bully once it has begun. Most are silent bystanders. They passively accept bullying by watching or doing nothing. Often without realizing it, these bystanders also contribute to the problem. Passive bystanders provide the audience a bully craves and silent acceptance that allows bullies to continue their hurtful behavior. Silent or passive bystanders may not actively make it worse, but they are not helping either. The silence is encouraging to the bully, who may think the bystander agrees with the behavior. To be a helpful or active bystander, there are three main types of intervening methods used. Direct. You have no problem telling anyone what is what. Directly intervene by discouraging the bully, defending the victim, or redirecting. Distract. You are good at thinking of creative ways to intervene. Distract the situation away from the bully. And delegate. You are most comfortable getting other people involved to intervene. Get help by rallying support from peers or reporting the bully. Your personality and comfortability in the situation may influence which style you choose. The situation itself, how dangerous it is, the location, and the behavior of other bystanders can influence the best course of action as well. Just know that doing something to stop the bullying is what matters the most, as well as your safety. The next presenter will be Haley Moker from VPAS.
Hi everyone, my name is Haley, and I will be going over the last few slides with you all. While reading the case study, think about the situation and think about how Now think about what you could do. Think about the 3Ds, being direct, creating a While reading case study number 2, think about ways you could direct. Think about what you could do as a bystander in this situation. You could be one of In case study number 3, think about how you could direct, distract, or delegate. This situation involves a physical altercation, which many of us would. It can be difficult to see or hear that a friend is experiencing any type of bullying. It may be hard to find the right words to say to someone who has been bullied. Here are some. If we're on campus or off campus, we have so many resources that are here to support.